The
actually.
Minneapolis mass shooting that happened over the weekend from Robin Jesus, I
The
just had
trans
it.
nigga.
What's
Westman.
in the jumbo?
Robin
Westman?
Westman.
The trans nigga.
Robin Westman. And so it's interesting that Tin brought up transgender because Robin Westman identifies as a woman. We also remember what happened in 2023 with Aiden Hale in Nashville, Tennessee. Another school shooting, unfortunate, killed 3 students and 3 staff members. People are trying to tie those two things together as far as transgender and mass shootings. I think that's a nothing burger, but it is a conversation that people are trying to have. I just wanted to get y'all opinion on, obviously the tragedy. We're always going to talk about gun laws when these things happen. Cause to me, it seems like another thoughts and prayers type situation. Then we're moving on. That 11-minute video of that Robin Westman showed with those guns, the pistol, the shotgun, the rifle, the magazines or whatever you call them, the cartridges, the revolver. In my opinion, a young nigga 23 years old, why the fuck do you have all of these guns? And why wouldn't that be a red flag? That's just me though. That's coming from a nigga who don't have a gun though. Right? But when we keep seeing these situations, it, to me, is there a solution, right? Is there a solution for us to stop having these situations? One, and do y'all put any stock into, here we go, another transgender shooting up a school? So I wanted to get y'all opinion. Go ahead, Tin,
Uh,
Jonay, then we got, oh, go ahead.
yeah,
Well, Tin, Jonay first, and then we got
all
you,
right.
A-Dog.
Nah, he can go
Go
first
ahead,
because what I'm
Tin.
gonna say gonna piss y'all
No,
off.
no, no. Let him go
Nah, say
first. I'm
it,
gonna
nigga.
piggyback on.
Nah, cause this like this some bullshit right
Well, can
here.
I
And
say
then
what I'm saying first? Because I'm not trying to do all of
Let
that.
Joe Day go.
Jonay
Joe
said,
Day.
fuck it,
Jesus
Tin.
Christ.
Go
shit, I
ahead.
don't need no water.
Clearly not. So first off, before I see trans, I see a white man. That's just what the truth is. White people be doing this shit. This is a white man doing some white shit, which is killing and doing these mass shootings with these manifestos and all that other stuff. Like, let's just be for real. That's the first thing that I see before we get into trans. I also feel like in general, I dislike the whole ideology of, the bullying. Well, I guess that's a part of the sentiment, is there's some level of bullying or non-acceptance. And this is why I chose to kill a bunch of innocent children. I'm never going to get with it. I don't care nothing about the struggle, in terms of this particular person's identity with being trans. I don't know if that's what it was. There was some level of unacceptance of his lifestyle at this particular church. I don't even know if he went to
It's a
this
Catholic
church.
school.
I don't think he went to
DB, can
this
you move out?
school.
Can you please, DB? I don't want
I'm
you giving
asking
me
a
no
question.
answers.
I'm asking a question.
But you're
It's a
asking
Catholic
me. That's
school.
not a question. That's a statement. So yes, I know it's a Catholic school. Thank you.
I'm
So
asking. You know what?
are
Y'all have
you
a good fucking day,
asking
bro.
me?
Y'all too
What?
Hey, mute
sensitive
up, dog.
and emotional around this bitch,
But
bro.
you're not
I asked
forming
a
it in the
fucking
form of
question.
question. You're saying a statement. It says in the title. I'm confused.
To be fair, DB, you didn't ask a question. You stated
You
a
did. You
statement.
stated
I
a
said,
statement.
I thought I said, is it a Catholic
No,
No,
you
you
school?
just
didn't.
said
If
No,
you
you
said,
didn't
you just
is
say
said
it,
that.
I
Catholic
would
school.
tell
You
you.
said Catholic school, so
But
you
she
just
too
You got to
defensive.
be
Like,
No,
more
my
I'm not
nigga,
conscious of your
I ain't
defensive.
actions.
saying
What are you
nothing
you
talking
negative.
about?
technically you interrupt.
We getting off track. DB, you interrupted her, and then you didn't say it in the form of a question, so that's why everybody had that type of reaction. Go ahead, Jonay.
Anyways, so again, I don't know if this particular person went to this particular Catholic school or whatever. But I also don't like trying to, again, having these wars, not us, but these types of people try to have these wars proving points as if this entire thing is the reason why, and Christianity is, I'm not with it. You are a psychopath. We're not about to sit here and act like there isn't a mental health issue in this case with this person dealing with their identity, and their ideology is off. So that's what we're not going to do today. To me, I'm not gonna tell what anybody else can do. But I'm not fucking with it. Prayers to the families.
Hold on, wait. You say you're not fucking with his mental health?
No, I'm not fucking with blaming it on that.
Oh,
That's
okay,
what I'm
okay,
saying.
okay.
Yeah, I'm not fucking with blaming it on that.
On mental health.
Cause that's what they do all the time. No.
I agree. I agree with what
I
everything
disagree with
Jonay
that.
said. Speaking of the gun laws, though, I do think there needs to be a mental health evaluation before you could purchase a gun.
Yeah.
If you hold on, Hotel, just let me finish my
Are
premise.
you crazy, Hotep?
Let me
You think
Yeah,
you ain't
there
gonna
go one
pass?
right there.
Y'all never heard of red flag laws? Nah, that's a
hold on. If you let me finish my premise, Hotel, then you might be like, oh, I get what you're saying.
And Hotep, you gotta come closer to whatever microphone
Right.
you're using because it
But
sounds far
I
away.
think there needs to be a mental evaluation before you get guns, because if you look between your legs and see a dick, but feel like you got a pussy, you is off in the head. Okay? Something is wrong with you, and you should not be allowed to purchase any guns or ammo. You can't even identify with reality. Okay? All right. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? And that's probably linked to you having all these sinister videos and feeling like, oh, you need help. Like the nigga had like a 11-minute video of like his drawings where he's talking to the devil in the mirror. Like something is wrong with these people. I'm sorry.
I did watch that video. I screenshotted every page of that manifesto. I'm definitely going to read it today.
How?
See what
Half
Cuz
of it
was
in
talking
Russian?
about. Oh, well, listen, I didn't know that. I just seen words, so I screenshotted it. Whatever I can read, I'm gonna make sure I can read it. But yeah, I think that buddy is off, right? Mental evaluation or what have you. I think, and I don't know how shit work, right? But I'm just spitballing because this was something that I came up with one day. There has to be a tax after a certain amount of guns that you buy,
There
in
is.
my
You can't
opinion.
buy no if you buy 2 assault rifles in the span of 14 days, ATF come to knock at your door. So
Yeah, there's like a
No, but I'm
time
saying
limit or
a
something.
tax as if you can have a handgun or 2 rifles, but once you start getting to
Oh,
4 or
like a
5,
limit of
you got to
armory.
pay taxes on that
oh
four
yeah,
or
some
five, six
states do
guns.
have a limit on. Yeah, some states.
Like because just
Can't
looking,
have no
cuz is
RPG.
23 years old and he's living Minneapolis. Ain't no goddamn woods in the metropolitan area, not that I know of. Maybe Minneapolis, Minnesota is different. But why, like, what are you doing with this? Even man, woman, trans, anybody. What are
I
you
mean, some people
doing
hunt.
with this
Some
Hold
arsenal?
on now.
some people
Hold
hunt.
on.
Like a 22 ain't gonna kill a hog. You do know that, right?
RPG under the
This nigga
mattress?
had, that wasn't a 22 that he
No,
was
that's
holding,
that's
plus
what
the
I'm saying. Like
rifle.
a 22, you need that to kill like squirrel. Well, not squirrel, but you know what I'm saying, smaller animals. And then you need like a bigger caliber gun to kill bigger animals, because some people hunt.
What animals are in
Yeah, but I don't.
The fuck
Minneapolis?
is
Yes,
you
they do,
hunting?
and I don't
You
have
know,
an
what's
issue
he
with
hunting in
that because that is
Minneapolis?
people's hobby.
Y'all don't think
And what
Minneapolis
That's
got
for?
people's
bees
hobby,
and
and
forestry?
it's fun.
Hello?
I think that people in their hobbies,
y'all
whatever,
sound better
right?
now,
I'm not
though.
I'm not the fun police and trying to police that, but it comes to a level in where you got to start looking at people like, what are you doing with all of this?
I,
That I just don't get it.
I'm gonna let.
Go ahead, Black Kingdom. We got Hotep. No,
Nah,
no, we
A
got
Dog
no.
wanted to go
Hold on,
first.
We got A Dog. My bad,
Yeah,
A
let me go
Dog.
real quick. Sorry. um, 2 points. Sorry. Um, the Jonay's point about the mental health part. It's 100% a mental health issue. Every human being operates through their brain. So if somebody's committing a murder, whether they're trans, whether they're, caught their wife cheating, whoever the fuck, whatever violence brings you, that urge that brings you to murder, you're in a mental health crisis. You're in a extreme heightened sense, your mental is not working well, like at its normal, how it should be. So there is indeed a mental health crisis. The trans stuff and all that on top of it's a different thing. But in order for them to be driven to that type of violence, there is obviously a mental health crisis. Anytime somebody's out there committing a mass shooting, we can't be like, oh, don't say it's not a mental health thing because you're excusing it. It's not an excuse. It's the reason. They're literally doing something that's mentally ill. So that they literally are mentally. That's not an excuse though. That's just we're figuring out. We're doing the science. Like, oh, okay, they're still going to do the jail time. They're still going to do the hospitalization and get the evaluation. But anyway. But second point, this kind of falls into the conservative thing of like, just because someone believes a certain way doesn't mean you shouldn't they aren't fit to do the job kind of thing. just because people have certain beliefs doesn't mean that their mental capacity for the job isn't there. But obviously this is a different case. But
So I just wanted to the mental health point. I know Jonah isn't up here, but I think that the reasoning for her saying that is because when we see white people in general, when they
they tried to
commit
excuse
these
it.
Yeah, they
types of
try to excuse it. Yeah,
crimes,
that was a
But we
they
all know
charge
that's
it to
not what
mental
we're
health,
doing though, right? We
and
all
other
know.
people don't get that
well. No,
luxury.
we
Right,
know
but we all know this
that's
isn't a
not
wait,
what
wait, so
we're
wait,
doing.
hang on. This isn't a luxury. This isn't about
It
a
is.
lux. No.
No, it's not.
This is about them, those people having a better education than us, and they know what the problem is more intrinsically than we do. We are so quick to be like, oh, that nigga crazy, lock him up. They know that there is a
So let me
depression, there
explain
is a
why I said
trauma, there is
luxury,
a
right?
childhood thing, there's other things at play that apply to us, but we just don't get the same, empathy or understanding, whatever.
So what I'm saying as far as luxury, right? When we see in this country, right, when black people do stuff, it's gangs. When Muslims do something, it's
That's
Islam.
all mental
When
illness.
so no, well, I'm saying that how they lump the entire culture or race when people of color do
Right.
things, and then when white people do things, they are lone wolf. The only reason that he would ever do something like that is mental illness. Not that he's a evil motherfucker who intentionally taught children to kill. No, he is mental health, and if not for this mental health, then he would have never
Your
done that
shot.
But
shit. That's how the
Your shot.
narratives are spun.
when they say the on the black side that they're either gangs or they grew up in a certain environment, we also when they say that, we know that there's a mental health issue involved in those upbringings and things like that. So when they say it's a mental health on their side, we also know that to be the truth as well. We know it's a mental health thing on both sides. Just because they only permit it on their side and not ours doesn't mean that it's, oh, is y'all gonna do it for y'all side and not ours, then we not gonna do it for y'all side, even though we know it's the truth. Like, that's just ignorant.
Go ahead,
I just want
Black
real
King.
quick, just mic
Oh,
check. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Uh,
Go ahead, Black King.
all right, 10-4. Hey, I was gonna say to the same point A-Dog just said, saying that it's not a mental health issue prevalent in America, let alone the world, seeing as how we see the crime rates and see the people that's doing these crimes and everything like that, right? These situations with these school shootings and stuff like that, we see a certain kind of people doing these things, right? Putting it on white people, that's cool. The last one was Mexican, if I'm not mistaken. That was also transgender and shit like that with mental health issues. These people have mental health issues in the hood. They have mental health issues in the school shootings. They have mental health issues, period. These are mental health issues because they're allowing them to basically be free in the world and do whatever the fuck they want without any real, they got, rehabs and whatever you want to call them, but they still are just walking the earth, working at Walmart, this, that, and the third. These people have mental health issues and they're carrying out these crimes. To say that it's not a mental health issue, seeing the stuff that he's writing on the magazines, seeing the stuff that he's doing in the 11 minute videos and shit like that, we clearly see this nigga is
Why
off.
this nigga can't just be an evil, nasty
He's an evil,
motherfucker?
nasty
Why?
motherfucker with a fucking mental health issue. What's
Well,
confusing about that?
I think to Jonay's point, she was saying I don't think she was negating that. She's she's pretty much saying yes. I recognize that there's a mental health issue on both sides, but
Uh-huh.
until they are, simply because we don't get that excuse because we can even though we can recognize that there's a lot of mental health issues going on our side. What is being propagated is that the a specific side gets to perform said acts
Uh-huh.
and then get to blame mental health to be charged differently.
Correct. And may I
Yeah,
speak for
but
myself?
do
Hold on
they
one
do
when
they
does
second.
that
really get
happen? When
charged
does that
differently?
But
happen?
Don't they get
may
life
I speak?
No,
imprisonment?
they don't. That's
May
what
I
I'm saying.
speak
Y'all
for
making that
The
up.
myself,
people, hold
please?
on, I was
All
going.
niggas that's
Okay,
crazy
listen
But
to
ain't
the
why
word
is it
crazy.
always
propagate.
getting piped
So
up when
stop.
I'm confused?
I was
Like
going. What
all
the
niggas
fuck?
that's crazy ain't crazy. I don't like that shit, dog. No, this nigga is
Hey,
going through
hold on.
whatever
Let that
crisis that
nigga
he's going
spit. He
Can
was
through.
I fucking
spitting.
finish
With
talking?
hold on. He's going through whatever he's going through in his he ain't going through shit now because he killed himself like a coward
Right.
he is.
Mm-hmm.
And he couldn't figure out his own shit.
That's
And
nasty.
so
That's why I
he
said
just started
propagated.
to project that onto
Right.
everybody else.
You doing bad
All
to
niggas
your
that's crazy ain't
suicidal,
crazy. You just can't figure yourself out. Guess what? We've all been 23 in this motherfucking world trying to figure out which way we need to go. And folks ain't fucking with us and our friend and our mama tripping our dad. We've been through that
Well,
Okay.
but
shit,
but my
right? We've
thing
all
is
been through
that
some
when it comes to
things.
these school shooters, right? Do we not still call them evil, nasty motherfuckers with a mental health issue?
No, not every
And
person.
don't they
No,
No,
also
we
well,
don't
no.
don't.
they
yes,
Yes,
hold
yes,
yo.
on,
What
and
are
hold
you
y'all
on,
should,
hold
talking
yes.
on,
about?
hold
Show
on.
me any sympathy a school shooter has gotten. Show
Yeah,
me.
I don't see the sympathy y'all are
There's a
talking
What are
lot
about.
of
y'all talking
posts.
And
about?
I'll even take it further. We're talking about school shooters. We could say the same thing for the serial killers. Yeah, they get propagated as famous and shit like that. That's why they don't report on them the same way anymore.
They
That's why
get
they
love
don't put
letters
them on
in
the
prison.
news and shit like that. Because they got propagated as, hey, this is a sick motherfucker, but he killed 17 of the same kind of
Right.
person,
So they
right?
get
What?
propagated as
Hold
differently,
on. Hold on. What
but
I'm
they have a
saying,
mental health issue. Correct.
I agree. What I'm saying
All these
is
people have mental health.
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm
That's no,
saying
we
that
agreeing on that part. But
what I'm saying is that I understand what you guys are saying, that they're going to get charged differently, this, that, and the third. The only people that I see are getting a fair chance in court right now is the Menendez brothers that killed both of their parents, if I'm not mistaken, dismembered them, and they're getting an appeal, right? Other than that,
Them fuck niggas appeal said no. Them niggas about
and
to
that's
do
because they
life.
got a documentary about the shit. Other than
Okay.
that, most of these school shooters literally get sentenced to life or death.
Okay, well, can I speak to the
All right.
point I was
King
making?
Von
Because there's
got a
a lot of
documentary.
sentimentality centered around what I
This
meant.
nigga A-Dog is
So
stupid.
that way we understand what I meant. Um, First off, I'm not slow nor dumb. I completely understand that every person in the world has a level of mental stability that can either be triggered or untriggered based off of whatever. I'm not dumb. I get it, right? What I'm talking about is the sentiments as it surrounds. So if you are seeing, like, paint the picture, right? There is a mass shooting. Something happens. 10 children are killed. The next sentiment is not going to be a picture. Now, if it's when it's white, this is not going to be a mug shot or anything like that. It's not going to talk about their troubled past. It's not going to do that. It's their picture smiling and then going to say they dealt with mental health. So what it does, again, it brings the sensitivity level to two victims, the children, as well as this person struggling with the mental health issue that snapped or had some sort of it. And we're talking about support for them and all those other things. I'm simply talking about how it's communicated. I'm not talking about all of what y'all saying. Clearly, I
Yeah, but
understand that.
Yeah,
I
That's
understand
Thank
all
you,
that.
I was
That's
Joanne.
not
talking
Thank you.
about.
Seen
that's
All right,
that.
not
hold on, hold
I've
on. Let
never.
necessarily
Mo
how
Chess
I was
go.
taking
I've.
it.
I
I
I've.
was
didn't.
I've
saying
never.
Let
Oh
King
my
let Mo Chess get
God.
off.
that when it comes
I
to the
haven't seen
people with
that.
Of
mental
course you
health,
haven't.
I was saying that when it comes to the people with mental health issues and stuff like that, all of these people need help, right?
Right. And no one is saying they don't.
All right,
I'm
hold on,
not
wait. Let Mo
denying that
Chess
you're
go.
saying that. What I'm saying is that yes, they need to fix how they report on black crimes and shit like that. These people have mental health issues and prior things that happened in their life that led them to this situation, right? But to the point of saying that they're smiling in pictures and shit like that, the pictures and videos I get of this nigga is being retarded on a
Okay, no,
11-minute video.
Exactly.
but that's what y'all are saying,
Exactly.
and that's why
But retarded
it's
ain't
really becoming
crazy.
extreme. And I get it. We all love to get in these moments and have these debate moments and we draw from a lot of like disingenuous conversation. Columbine is an example where we know exactly what happened with Columbine. I know some of y'all ain't old enough to know. They formatted that Columbine shooting. Oh, he was bullied and struggled with mental health, and this was a thing
They.
that pushed him into that. That's my point. So we're not gonna.
And they also frame them
Oh
as
my
being
God. Okay,
monsters as
but
well.
Hotep, can I just say my point, or do you want to argue? I'm not arguing with y'all today.
All right, Jonah, we ain't about to
Yes,
do
so
this.
please let me
That's what
get
we
my
here
point
for.
out. My point is that we have seen, whether we want to admit it or not, or whether it's a dual point. I know that they've also said that, but I'm saying that there is a lot of times where because the first thing that says, oh, there was a bullying or there was a mental health or is this, and then we pause, and then we say, oh, okay, well, we have to deal with the mental health crisis and we have to deal with this. Not
We
just
shouldn't though,
there's
Jonah. We
multiple
shouldn't.
things. That's all I was trying to say. I wasn't
We
trying to go down
shouldn't.
that,
We
that
shouldn't
direction.
pause. We should just take
All
everything
right,
into
hold on.
account.
That's my point. And
Okay.
that's
Okay.
my point.
Go ahead, Hotep. Hotep, what's the word? How you
Oh, yeah, my
feeling?
fault. I didn't know. I didn't hear my name. My fault. So yeah, I get what Jonay is saying. That's that case, and I'm not even trying to, arbitrage it up, try to be arbitrary, but that was from like 1999. There's no mass shooter, black, white, Hispanic, or Arab that we've had it since social media has been around where they've sympathized with these mass shooters. Not one. The Buffalo shooter, the Kenosha dude who drove into those bunch of people and stuff like that. Like that's not happening. So I understand that we are like historically or racially or socially triggered by certain things because of how the media portrays particular things or whatever, but that's not happening. Like even in this case specifically, nobody is bleeding hearts for this person. Nobody
That's
is
not
sitting there.
true.
That is
That's
not
not
I
true. People
true.
haven't.
are talking about him being
I can
trans. What are we
Well, let
Yeah,
him
saying?
get it
Like, that
off.
is
yeah. So
happening.
that
Listen,
check.
y'all didn't want nobody cutting y'all off. Let him get it off.
That's totally fine. And that's the reason why I stopped talking when you didn't want me to cut you off. So what I'm saying is when it comes to the being a trans person or whatever, they're steeped in mental illness. As a matter of fact, I think about over 40% of them have suicidal ideation. Like they're steeped in mental illness, period. So when it comes to that, that's not them having sympathy for them. Cause I can tell you right now, as far as, especially when you're talking about conservative circles and shit like that, there is nobody sitting there saying like, oh, we need to, care more about the mental health part. They're saying that because they are trans or because they are mentally ill, they're prone to violence and we need to be more vigilant with these people. They're not saying it in a sympathetic tone whatsoever. So that's what I'm saying. Like when we're saying this stuff, I think objectively, Jonay, Black King, A-Dog, we're saying the same thing. These are mentally ill people. Now, there are going to
yes.
be particular media pundits or whatever that may want to spin it in their own way. But that, I don't care about that. Like your media sentiment and all that stuff, that's very subjective. You can go to any channel to find any type of, sentiment that you want. If we're going to have a conversation about the issue is, if we're going to keep it all the way gangster, trans people have a very, you can just look at the stats. Like I said, over 40% of them, if you go just off the stats alone, are going to kill themselves before they're bullied to death. Okay. This is a deep mental illness when it comes on to that. But when we're talking about the hood and the dudes who do what you would call quote unquote mass shootings in the hood and all that stuff, it's the same thing. So again, I'm not making excuses for any of these people. They are monsters. They are harming people. And I'm never going to have sympathy for these type of people. I can understand, but I'm never going to sit here and say we have sympathy. And I'm telling you, for the most part, this person that just recently killed himself, overall, as far as the American zeitgeist is going, I don't see any pouring out sympathy for this person at all.
Yeah, I don't think
I'll
that
show you. I'll
I'm
send it
not
to you.
saying it in the way of it's
And that's
sympathy
not
for the
even what was
nigga.
said.
What I'm saying
Sympathy?
is
Stop it.
when we go to
All right, yo, y'all got
the projection of the narratives of culture, right? Why the fuck does every time a white person do something nasty and despicable and show that they are a monster, we have to figure out a way to soften the
Didn't they do
blow.
that to R.
They
Kelly
can't
too?
just stand alone. They
What?
can't
Is R.
stand
Kelly a
alone and
mass
say this
shooter?
nigga is
Like,
nasty.
why do
Nigga,
y'all
he
do stuff
fucking
like
kids
that? But
on
but
a
why?
mass
But
basis.
we're
What
not.
the
But
hell?
we're
What's the
talking about
difference?
something separate. But why do y'all have to do that? Like, can we just stay on this topic? Wow, with like,
What
do
do you
they
say?
say the
I
I
same
don't
thing
said
believe
about
in
did
the
they
R.
not
empathy. I
do
want
the
to
sympathy.
see it.
same thing
Like,
for R.
we're
I
Kelly?
want
talking
to see
about.
Like
the
they
empathy.
Get the fuck out of here. We ain't talking about no goddamn R. Kelly. We talking about a nigga who wrote people's names on a fucking magazine and
Show
walked
me the
into a
empathy. I
school
want to see
and
it.
started letting that
Like,
shit
I
sing.
just
That's
don't
what we
get
talking
it.
about, nigga.
I'm finding it. Hang on.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Kenya, Kyra, T, and Cortland. Kenya.
You don't have to have empathy for. I just feel like you like everything can be acknowledged without you like focusing in on one. I do think there's a mental health problem overall because I think the mental health just presents differently for different people. A lot of people are coping and coping well. A lot of people are getting by, but it's almost like they're like one tragedy away from like a psyche break or something. I think that's like more common than we know. So given that like the mental health isn't necessarily getting better and we're kind of like going, I don't know, it just feels like we're snowballing into this age of just like more capitalism, more technology, more like we're just kind of leaving humanity like behind as a whole. I don't know how you fix problems like these because like there are solutions to these things. I don't think like this is just so completely unfixable, but it's like the solutions would
God,
take a bit more care for like humanity and human beings than like money or politics or like winning some kind of political ideological war or something. But nobody like wants to do that and nobody really cares. Not when the kids die, not when the little kids die, not when grown adults die. Like honestly, people overall don't really care. So that's why this is happening. And people not caring is kind of why the mental health is so bad. So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. But yeah, yeah.
Go ahead, Kyra. Then we got 10, Cortland, Black King.
Hey, what's going on? Um,
How you feeling? What's the
I'm good.
word?
I just only came up. I only came up here because this story is very interesting to me. One, I want to point out what Hotep said about trans people having mental health issues. They only have it because of environment and because they're not being stood up for or they're being rejected
Kyra,
for.
That
I
can
know
be
you at
that can
work,
And
but
they're
it
be
does
and
sound.
they're
Hold on,
that
wait,
can be
one
sorry.
second.
I'm
disproven
sorry.
by
Can you hear me?
data. Disproven by data.
Kyra, it sounded a little
Oh,
muffled,
sorry.
just
My
a
can
tad
can you hear
bit.
me now? Okay,
Yes,
my fault.
ma'am. Thank you. I
That's
Yes.
my
appreciate that.
fault.
Please
My
just let
microphone was in
Kyra
my
say
shirt.
what she's saying. It sounds
Um,
crazy, but please just don't interrupt her.
it like this coming from people not just them not being accepted. That's just one. Um, two, everybody who has mental health issues do not run around killing. So when I heard somebody say, "Oh, people who have mental health issues, they should be locked away and this that, and the other," like, no, this person was just pure evil. This is just pure evilness. If you can take a gun, write a manifesto on a magazine with hella kids and go to a school and shoot these children up, you're just an evil fuck. I don't care what you identify as. I don't care about that. And as far as the empathy and sympathy go, yes, we have seen it because when Dylan Roof shot those non-parishioners, they took his ass to fucking Burger King. And people said,
No,
oh
Kyra, it
man,
never
that's,
happened.
oh yeah, my fault, you're right. And then on top of it, when Sandy Hook happened, when those 10 children got murdered, 6 of those adult members, they said, oh man, he was at home doing the thing.
You breaking
You
up
Yep,
breaking
she's
up a
again.
talking
little bit,
about
Kyra.
Sandy Hook.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
no, so what I was saying was with Sandy, yeah, Jonah just basically said what I said, like with Sandy Hook, there's 20 kids and 6 adults who got murdered. They were saying that he was going through stuff at home with his mom
No, it
and
never
he was
happened,
a,
Kyra.
you right, friend. I forgot, my bad friend. You so right. Like, I can go
Man,
on
you
and
could
on
kill
and
all of that
on.
because nobody said
It
No,
never
never
happened.
happened,
but
Kyra.
that's what y'all,
Nobody
but
said
that's
it never
It
literally,
happened
never
though.
but
Not
happened,
that's
one
literally
person.
Kyra.
what you,
Nobody on the stage said it didn't happen. So what is this
yes,
bad
y'all
faith argument? Like,
did,
what is this? I
but
did
that's
not say
literally,
that.
I didn't say
Nobody up
just,
here
it
said
wasn't
that.
just you. It wasn't just you, Hotep. People were literally, I heard it before I got
Mm-hmm.
I came up here and I said, hey,
I didn't
these
hear it at
things do
all.
happen. These things do happen. They do give these killers some type of fucking empathy that they don't fucking need. I don't care about that. I don't care about this person being trans. You are evil. You're despicable. Thank you for taking yourself out. I kind of wish you didn't so you can go through the chain of events of going to jail and getting a harsh punishment. But thank you for doing this. We don't give a damn. And like Joe said earlier, that's about the real thing here. More mass shootings are carried out by white men. A lot of these people are white men, and and of course, it's going to always be sympathy when it comes to white men. Point blank, period. So we have to stop this whole, oh, don't no mass shooter get sympathy or empathy? Yes, they do, because they're white. It's going to
No,
happen.
Kyra, that's not happening.
evil is mental
They are
illness.
all,
What are we considering
Thank
mass
monoliths
you.
on
What
that
are
shootings?
we
I'm
one.
tired of
considering?
y'all
What are
Y'all
you
give
talking
Yo,
about?
empathy to
What are
niggas
we
in the hood
considering
that
can I
mass
shoot up the
shootings?
respond?
block all the time. You give sympathy to
Exactly.
Yeah, I
black
was
men
gonna
that are
Can
ask,
I
what are
murdered
we
as
respond?
talking
I would
about
well.
in
like to
mass
respond.
shootings to
We
that
have to
effect?
Hey,
stop.
for your name to be Black King, you can't wait to tear down the niggas. I ain't gonna lie. It's looking
When did
funny
I
in the
tear
light,
down
Black King.
niggas?
Yeah, I
It's
just want
looking
to. Could I
funny in the light.
respond to
Go
Kyra?
ahead,
No,
Yeah,
can I
Tim.
respond to
that's
Kyra?
exactly, Kyra. You're right. It never happened.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Hotep. Then we got Tim.
It ain't
Double mute.
happened since Columbine,
Y'all know we
Kyra.
don't do
That's what
that
they
over
told
here.
me.
All
Wait.
Physical
right, yo. All
bear.
right, all
Y'all
right,
know
all
we
right.
don't do that shit
Can I
over
say
here.
something?
No,
Can I
because
say
I'm
something real
responding.
quick?
I just want to
No,
respond.
because I'm hearing somebody say this is the same thing that happened on the block, and I think it's Kenya. Kenya, you gotta stop this anti-black shit coming out of your
Oh my
fucking mouth
God.
because
Oh
it's
my
zoning
God.
me
Who
out.
said that?
It's
Well,
not
Kenya said that?
let it zone you
it's
Somebody
out.
Oh
on
not
this
Let
my
side
her
said
be,
it.
God,
Kyra.
yo.
zoning.
Y'all
Y'all
sound
niggas be
So
crazy.
bugged
The
Kenya
out,
said
fuck? You
that?
yo.
bringing
so
out
what
All
I
black
was
right.
just
men
saying,
to talk
y'all
about the
have
only
Yo,
to.
I'm I ain't
Listen,
gonna
Y'all,
hold
Let
you.
me
you
ask
don't
you
live
one,
in
Yo, can I just
reality,
Kale.
Kyra.
respond?
You just
I'm
don't
gonna
live in
respond.
reality. I'm not finna keep
yes,
No,
I
arguing
do
with
live in
y'all.
yo,
reality.
check this
Who
out,
is this
yo.
talking to
I
me?
want
Hold
to
on, wait,
just
let
respond. I
Hotep
want
go.
to
Let
respond
Hotep
to
go. That's a
Kyra.
nasty one,
I just
Kale.
want to respond to Kyra so I can get the fuck up out of here. To be totally honest with y'all. So, Kyra, listen. When it comes down to environment and acceptance, transgender ideology and transgender everything has been is at its height. That this American society as is at its highest level of acceptance to trans, and the suicide rates are only going up. It's not trending down at all. So it's not about environment. It's not about acceptance. It's absolutely not. It's the fact that you are living in a body that you don't believe you're supposed to be in. Your gender dysmorphia is a mental illness, period. It's not that I don't
It's
hold.
not a
No,
mental
no, no, no.
illness,
I
but
let
okay.
you rock. It 100% is.
You didn't let me rock,
What do
but
you
okay.
mean? I didn't
You're
interrupt
right.
you. I didn't interrupt you once.
Okay, you did. You didn't. You didn't.
Exactly.
You're right. No, it didn't
Exactly.
happen. It didn't happen.
I
You're right.
didn't. So again, transgenderism and the acceptance of transgenders is at its all-time high in American history. Okay. 50 years ago, 30 years ago, 100 years ago, there was none of that. There was no trans representation on TV. There was no trans representation in schools. There was no trans representation anywhere in American society, and the suicide rates weren't anywhere near this level. So environment and acceptance and all that other stuff, you're going to have to find another point. Secondly,
And you want me to find
no,
another
I want
point
you to
when
stop
I literally
talking.
have trans
That's
fans?
fine.
No, I'm not gonna stop talking. What are we
Yo,
talking about, my
listen.
nigga? Like, what are you
Hold on,
Yo,
wait, let
saying?
him
listen,
finish.
son.
Let
All
him
right, nah,
finish.
I'm not doing this. Y'all got it. 'Cause I'm not about to argue with none of y'all. Y'all got it.
Like,
Go ahead.
niggas be just wrong. Like,
Go
what are
ahead,
we
10.
doing?
I promise I won't touch the trans point this time.
Disclaimer.
You in a
Hallelujah.
minefield.
But I
Hallelujah.
think
Go
what
ahead,
is
10.
happening is we're not recognizing that two things are true at the same time. And it's all about what you subscribe to on your timeline slash news feed. On one end, they scolding these niggas. They calling them evil, devil worshippers, pits of hell, right? But then on the other end, there is another faction that is saying, pretty much, let's coddle them and find out what was going on in the home, right? The issue that we are having as a culture is when King Von and them do mass, well, not King Von because he was serial killer, but you get what I'm saying. When niggas like that do mass
Mm.
shootings, right? It's not, they're not giving the same opportunity. And Jonay and Kyra brought up the same point. They took one of these niggas to Burger King, and that was less than 10 years ago, I think. I'm not, don't quote me.
No, it hadn't
They
happened
took,
since Columbine.
they took one of these niggas to Burger King, and if that nigga had have been black, they would have killed that nigga. And that's where y'all get in the quote unquote sympathy. They're not actually talking about like the words that they're using on the news articles. They're talking about the actions for the coddling. The coddling action is you gonna take this white boy to Burger King after he shoot up the church. But if Run shoot up the bowling alley, you gonna kill Run.
He ain't got no chance. That only way he get caught alive is if he
And
come
Ron
out
Ron's,
naked with his
but the
hands
other
up.
point is then Ron doesn't have any mental health diagnoses because a lot of black people don't ascribe to therapy and they are not being seen by psychiatrists and psychologists. So you don't have it in their history but they could have also had a mental health disability. That's my point.
Bingo.
And that is why it was
Bingo.
a whole bunch of people trying to think they were doing their big one when I have a degree in this. So I know what I'm talking about.